When my daughter Emma died in 2009, I thought the worst pain was over. I was wrong. She was only 10, hit by a drunk driver while riding her bike in front of our house. I don't need to describe the hell that followed. I mean, if you lost a child, you already know it. If you haven't, then thank whatever God you believe in. The first voicemail came on what would have been her 24th birthday. It was 3:16 a.m. and my phone buzzed. I was already awake. Insomnia has been on my shadow since we buried her. I recognized the number instantly. It was hers. We'd kept her phone plan going for a while after her death, just to hear her voice on the voicemail. And eventually we canceled it. Or I thought we did. The message was only a few seconds long. Dad. And then static. I sat up in my bed. Not a glitchy AI sound, not some kind of kid playing a prank. That was Emma. Soft and confused, just like she used to sound when she woke up from a nightmare. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. I didn't tell anyone. The next night it happened again. Dad, are you still mad at me? Static. Then silence. I stopped checking the messages for a few days, thinking if I didn't listen, it would stop. But it didn't. They came every night at 3:16 a.m. exactly, always from her old number, always her voice. I finally gave in and listened to all of them. Some of them were whispers that I couldn't make out. Some were just sobbing. One night she said, "I'm cold. It's so dark here." I took the phone to the police. The officer was sympathetic but firm. Probably a scam, maybe some kind of sick hacking. Said that they'd look into it. They never called me back. I contacted the phone company. Their number had been reassigned to a teenager in Wisconsin. I spoke to his mother. She said he hadn't used the phone in months. He lost it. Around the same time the voicemails started. My therapist told me it was grief, unresolved trauma, that my brain was just playing tricks on me. But here's the thing. Emma said something in her last voicemail that shattered any doubt. It was June 3rd. The anniversary of her death. And the message was longer this time. Dad, I saw you by the bike. I tried to yell. I waved. You looked right through me. Then a pause and... Why did you pretend you couldn't see me? I hadn't told anyone I visited the exact spot that day. Not my sister, not my ex-wife, no one. And I did think I saw something. A flicker in the corner of my eye, a small figure in a blue jacket, the same one that she was wearing that day, but when I turned, nothing was there. I told myself it was my imagination. But then came the final message 2 nights ago. It was different, it was louder, more alive. Daddy, I'm not supposed to talk to you anymore. He's getting mad. Static. Static crackled like fire, and then I heard a new voice. Not Emma's, it was deep and slow and wrong, and it said, "Stop looking. You'll see us soon enough." And the line went dead. I smashed the phone. Yesterday I got a new number, new provider, burned the old SIM, brand new phone, and still tonight at exactly 3:16 a.m. the phone buzzed. One new voicemail. From Emma. It's been 4 nights. I thought sharing this might help. I don't know. Maybe if I released it somehow, maybe give it shape, maybe that would make it stop. It didn't. The voicemails still come every single night, 3:16 a.m. Not a minute before, not a minute after. I used to bolt upright when it happened. Heart in my throat, breath caught, and now I just lie there and I wait for the buzz like a ritual. I don't listen anymore, not all the way through. I just let them pile up in my inbox, collecting like dust in a forgotten room. But last night I couldn't ignore it. It started with Emma's voice again, soft, wavering the way that she used to sound when she was trying to be brave but needed me. "I'm scared, Daddy," she said. "He's getting closer. I can't hide here much longer." And then static, sharp and sudden. It hurt my ears through the speaker, and then something I couldn't quite catch, a whisper, slurred or maybe layered over itself like multiple voices, saying the same thing, out of sync. Then I heard it. A clicking, like fingernails tapping glass, a slow, deliberate rhythm. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 3. I didn't recognize the pattern, but it felt intentional, like something trying to signal or get my attention, and then it just stopped. Dead silence. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. I waited for dawn like it was a promise. This morning I checked the house. Every window had scratches, thin, fine marks, like something sharp had traced lines across the glass. Some of them were so high up I needed a stepladder just to get a closer look. I mean, I live alone. I have no pets, no trees brushing the house, no explanation. And then out front, in the grass near the road. That road. I saw something caught on a low branch by the ditch where the accident happened. It was a piece of fabric. Blue. Faded denim. Torn in a pattern I knew too well. I ran inside, I climbed into the attic, yanked the old sealed storage box down with shaking hands. Her jacket. The one she wore the day she died, it was still inside. I kept it for the smell, the memory. It zipped in a vacuum bag, untouched since the funeral, and I opened it just to be sure. The tear in the shoulder. Matched exactly. But the one outside, it looked new, like it had just been ripped. No dirt, no weathering, no fading from sunlight, not even dew, fresh. It was fresh, clean fabric. This was the moment I stopped pretending I could logic my way through this. Tonight, actually just an hour ago, something changed. It wasn't a voicemail. It was a text from her number. Just 2 words. Come outside. No punctuation, no context, just that. And I won't lie, I stood there with my phone in my hand for what felt like forever, my thumb hovering over the screen like I was going to reply. My heart wasn't racing, I wasn't panicking. There was something worse, that warmth, that aching familiarity. It felt like her. It felt like those nights she used to crawl into bed after a nightmare, curl against my chest. Her breath slow, and even as she drifted back to sleep, I could almost feel her weight. Again, like her little hand tangled in my shirt. I almost opened the door, my hand. It was on the knob when a phrase someone had commented came back to me like a jolt of cold water. If she ever asks you to go somewhere, don't. I stopped. I turned off the porch light. I waited. And then I looked. Just a quick glance through the curtain, but I saw something. At the edge of my driveway, small, still, dressed in a blue jacket, her size, her shape. But too still. Like a photo standing upright in the dark. I blinked. It was gone. No sound, no movement, just the soft hum of the streetlight overhead and the sudden certainty that something out there knew I was watching. I don't know what this is anymore. I don't know if it's my daughter or something that remembers her better than I do, but I do know this. It wants to be let in, and it doesn't want to be ignored. I'll update again if I'm still here. I didn't sleep last night. I don't really know why. There was no buzzing at 3:16 a.m., no voicemail, no message, nothing at all. You'd think I'd feel relief, but instead I felt hollow. Like something was missing. Worse. Waiting. I sat in bed, phone in my hand, screen lit. Nothing came. No notification, no blocked number, no whisper of her voice. Just the glow of the lock screen and the steady tick of the clock beside my bed. And yet, the dread didn't go away. This morning when I stepped out onto the porch, I found something on the doormat. A single Polaroid photo. No envelope, no note. No sign that anyone had been near the house. Just the photo. I stared at it for a long time before I picked it up. Something about it made my stomach twist, like I already knew what would be on it, like I'd already seen it before, maybe in a dream that I'd forgotten or a memory I never wanted to have. There was a picture of Emma's bike. The one she was riding when she died. Except the photo wasn't old. It wasn't from that day. I know, because the grass in the background still had the bare patches. I'd reseeded just a few weeks ago. My neighbor's car is in the driveway. The garbage bin's tipped the same way it was yesterday morning when the wind knocked it over. It was recent. The bike was propped on its kickstand at the edge of the road, right where the accident happened. The back wheel was bent, the seat was torn exactly as I remember it after the crash, but we don't have that bike anymore. We buried it, along with her. I checked the spot, there's nothing there. No tire tracks, no bike, no photo prints anywhere else. Just grass and silence and the faint smell of rain that never came. Inside, I set the photo on the table and stared at it for hours. I couldn't touch it again. My fingers itched to flip it, but I was scared of what might be there. And finally I did. The back was blank except for 2 words, written faintly in pencil. Not printed, they were written. And they were written in her handwriting. I remember. That broke something in me. I don't know if I'm supposed to remember something, or if she does, something I buried deeper than her jacket or the sealed boxes in the attic, something I don't want pulled into the light. I want to believe it's her so badly it hurts, but a memory doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't whisper through phone lines. It doesn't dig up a rusted bike and pose it like an offering. And tonight at exactly 3:16 a.m., my phone buzzed again. Not a voicemail. A FaceTime. From her number. And for 1 second, just before I declined it, the thumbnail preview showed something. Something from behind me. Something smiling. Hey there kids, it's me, Mr. Creepypasta, and I just wanted to tell you thank you so much for watching tonight's video or for listening to tonight's episode of the podcast, wherever you happen to do that. So if it's like on YouTube, then you're probably, watching the video, but if it's on, not, then you're probably listening to the podcast, like with Spotify or with Apple or something like that. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. And as always, I want to give a very big thank you to everybody who supports me over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you guys so much for being supporters. That goes for everybody who was down in the description, as well as Acid System, Ball Arms the Rat, Blake Rattler, Brandon Mendoza, Brenna Crow, Brimstone Pandemonium, Caltuna, Chain Smoker Dealer, Chicago Hitman, Corey Kenshin, Cronut 508, Crusader Chocobo, Curse Pox Primark, Dakota Best, Daniel Polson, Dante Kincaid, Diana Kraus, Ellie Hutmeyer, Enchanted Buns, Estabine, Gemma Halsey, Hades Nephew, Kimbo Jerry, Hour Minute Seconds Time, Jay Keems, Jedis Pet, Jordan Humble, King Crab, Mr. Marcus Blitz, Old Penguin, Peaceful Buddha, Psychomel, Red Shadowcat, Remember the Sun, Rinku Star, Salty Surprise, Samara Line, Seclude, Simba's Bloody Mojo, Sky Harbor, Smiley the Psychotic, Sullyman, Charlie Sue, the Chavez Brothers. Thank you so much. And honestly, thank you to everybody, even those guys that are in there for just $1. It really helps me out. Once again, that's patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta. Or if you guys like to just listen, honestly, it helps me out a lot too. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And sweet dreams.